Hey guys, welcome back to Mr. Levy's Math Room. I trust that you have been practicing and practicing and practicing and practicing away. Like I always say, practice, 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 practice. Practice makes perfect. I hope you have been subscribing. I want to thank those who have subscribed, those who have been watching. I hope you are being helped. That's what I really want to do. I want to help students to master math and do well at it. And you can do well, but you need to practice. You need to put in the work, and you will do well. All right, so let's go. What we're going to be looking at now is the solving linear equations. Right, we're going to do two with the variable on one side of the equation, and then we're going to look at solving two with variables on either side and both sides of the equation. Now, linear equation just simply means that if you were to put this equation on a graph, it will give you a straight line. Alright? To give you a straight line. So we call them linear equations. Right now, equations must be balanced. So when you're solving an equation, whatever we do to one side of the equation, we must also do to the other side. And so if we subtract from one side, we must also subtract from the other. If we add to one side, we must also add to the other. Whatever we do to one side, we must do to the other side of the equation. So it remains in balance. Alright? Okay. So now, if you notice the equation, they are separated. It has two sides separated by the equal sign. Alright? Now let's go. Now our aim in solving an equation is that we are solving for an unknown, right? We are solving for an unknown, right? So the difference between equations and expressions is that in an equation you are solving, right, a problem. So you are solving for the value, an unknown value, right? In an expression, if you're just basically simplifying, right? And so let's go. So we want to find the value of x in this term, in this case. So we are saying 3 times a number plus 8 gives us 23. So 3x means 3 times a certain number plus x equals 23. Right? So in order for us to find the value of x, we must first get rid of this 8. Right? Because this 8 is basically in the way. So we have to get rid of them one by one. Right? So we are first going to get rid of this 8. And we normally say to undo a term, we perform its opposite operation. So in this case, we have a plus 8. Right? A plus 8. So we are going to, you perform the opposite operation. The opposite operation for addition is subtraction. And so I'm going to subtract 3 so that I can cancel it out. Alright? So I'm going to subtract 8 here. And I must also subtract 8 on the right hand side. Right? So we have 3x plus 8 minus 8 equals 23 minus 8. Right? So 8 minus 8 is 0, so these cancel. I'm left with 3x equals 23 minus 8, 8 from 13, 8 and 5, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 13, 8 and 5, 13. So that's 15. Right? Is that so? Yes. Now, then we have 3 times a number gives us 15. So 3 times a number gives us 15. Right? So 3 times a number gives us 15. In order to find what that number is, we must get rid of this 3. Right? And this is saying 3 times the number. Right? So it means that we are going to do what? We are going to perform its opposite operation. The opposite operation for multiplication is division. Right? And so I'm going to divide 3x by 3. I must do it to the other side. So I'm dividing 15 by 3 as well. So the 3's cancel. 3 to 3 is 1. We're left with x equals 15 divided by 3 is 5. So x is equal to 5. Now to prove if your answer is correct, you can always substitute the value of x into the equation, and that will tell you if your answer is correct, right? Because we are saying 3 times 15, 3 times 5 is 15. 15 plus 8 gives us 23. 15 plus 8 gives us 23, right? So we go 3 times 5, 15. 15 plus 8 is 23, right? Let's hop over to the other side. So we have 4 times a number minus 3 or subtract 3 gives us 5. Alright? So we need to find the result, find the value of x. In order for us to get there, we must first get rid of this minus 3. Alright? So this we have the minus 3. To undo this, we perform its opposite operation. So we are going to, opposite of operation for subtraction is addition. So I'm going to add 3 to this. If I add 3 to negative 3, they cancel. Right? So that's its additive inverse. And I must subtract 3 from the other side as well. Add 3 to the other side, sorry. So we have 4x minus 3 plus 3 equals 5 minus 3 plus 3, sorry. So the negative 3 plus 3, that's 0, they cancel. We are left with 4x equals 8. Then we have 4 times a number equals 8. So 4 times a number equals 8. We need to find what that number is. Right? In order for us to do that, we must get rid of this 4. By doing what? We have 4 times the number. So we need to do what? Perform its opposite operation, which is division. So we are going to divide 4x by 4. I must also divide 8 by 4. Right? Then 4 into 4 is 1. I'm left with x equals 8 divided by 4 is 2. So x is equal to 2. And let us prove to see if this is correct. We are going to substitute the value of x into the equation to see if it is so. So we have 4 times 2 is 8. 8 minus 3 is 5. So 4 2 is 8. 8 minus 3 is equal to 5. Alright? Now, so that's solving linear equations with the variable on one side of the equation. Now let's look across here. Look here. We have the variables on both sides of the equation. Now, in order for us to solve an equation of this type, we must first group all the like terms. So we are going to gather the like terms together. So we are going to group like terms by moving them. And when we move them, we are going to move them. We perform this opposite operation to move them, right? And then I always advise students to move the smaller term. So move the smaller term, especially if you're not comfortable working with negative numbers. So you move the smaller term, alright? So in this case, we have 5x and 3x and 5x and 3x. So let us move the 3x over to this side, and we have positive 4 and negative 8. Negative 8 is smaller than positive 4. So I'm going to move the negative 8 over, right? I'm going to put that over here. So in order to do that, I'm going to add 8 to both sides of the equation. So you now have 3x plus 4 plus 8 equals 5x minus 8 plus 8. Right? Now what am I trying to do? I'm trying to group the like terms. I'm putting the terms that do not have variables together and the ones with the variables together. Alright? Now, it doesn't matter. Some persons will tell you must have your variables on the left hand side, but it doesn't really matter. Alright? Okay. So we now have on this side 3x plus 12, 8 and 4 is 12, equal 5x, because the 8's cancel, right? Negative 8 plus 8 is 0, right? So this is what we have now. So I now need to get this 3x on the right hand side. Now how do I do that? Right? We have positive 3x over here. We are going to subtract 3x on both sides. So I have 3x minus 3x plus 12 equals 5x minus 3x. Right? So 3x minus 3x is 0. I'm left with 12 equals 5x minus 3x is 2x. Right? So we have 2x equals 12, or 12 equals 2 times the number. Right? So 12 is equal to 2 times the number, or 2 times the number equal 12. Regardless of how you want to read it, it doesn't really matter. Now this is 2 times the number equal 12. So we are going to divide both sides by 2. So x is equal to 6. Right? So you can always turn it around to say, oh no. Alright, let's just shift this one a little. Good. Right, so we can just turn it around to say x equals 6. Okay? Now we can put it back, substitute 6 into the equation to see if we are correct. So 3 times 6 is 18 plus 4 equals 5 times 6 is 30 minus 8. 18 plus 4 is 22 and 30 minus 8 is 22. Alright, so the equations are balanced. Okay? Right, sorry about that. Okay, let's look at the other one. Now, once you're able to identify how to move the equation, the terms without showing all the steps, you can do that once you're able to master that. Alright? So, sorry, let's try that here. So we're going to group like terms. So we want all the x on one side, all the non-variable terms on the other side. Alright? So in this case, remember I said it's easier to move the smaller terms. Alright? So we have 9x and 3x. 3x is smaller, so we're going to move 3x from the right hand side to the left hand side, and I'm going to move negative 7 from the left hand side to the right hand side because it is smaller as well. Alright? So let's go. So we have 9x. Now, what would I need to do to get this, get rid of this 3x from here? I'd have to subtract it. Alright? And if I subtract 3x here, I must also subtract 3x on the other side. So I'll have minus 3x equals 17. We are left with 17 over there. And how do I get rid of this from here? I'd have to add 7. Alright, so I'll add 7 here as well. So we now have 9x minus 3x, that's 6x equals 17 plus 7 is 24. Right, so we now have 6 times the number equals 24. In order to find that number, we must divide both sides by 6 because we need to get rid of the 6, which is saying 6 times x. Good? So 6x divided by 6, 24 divided by 6, x is equal to 6 4 is 24. Now, we can substitute the value of x into the equation to see if we are correct. So we have 9 times 4 is 36 minus 7 equals 3 times 4, sorry. What did I say? Oh, said it wrong. So it's 9 times 4. Oh, I was right. 4 9 is 36. Right. And then we have 3 times 4. 3 4 is 12 plus 17. So 12 plus 17 is 29. And 36 minus 7 is also 29. Alright? So there we have it. Solving linear equations with variables on one side and solving linear equations with variables on both sides of the equation. So what I want you to do is go ahead, find some more problems, and I normally tell the students to do at least 17. So you do 17, right? So once you do 17 of each, then you should have no problem. No problem at all. And so just do that. It's a secret, right? That's a secret to passing math. So you do 17 times. 17 times, right? It is scientifically proven. Okay? Alright, so Bless you. Continue to like and subscribe and share the video with your friends. Alright, blessings. See you next time.